Alright, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. I walked away to get coffee, and my internet died. So, we're back. I have coffee. That's why. That's what leveled me up. Because that's the level that I just... Okay. Sure. Fine. Alright. So that also means that the only thing to do is go back to the Chantry. Or I could talk to people, but I'm going to do that later. Once I have more people to run around and talk to. That's generally how I do that. So, open the doors! Ah, I see my viewers have returned. I apologize, guys. We had some issues with the Wi-Fi. Does it trouble you? That's a thing.
I just wish I knew what it was, or how I got it.
We will find out. What's important is that your mark is now stable, as is the breach.
Hooray!
You've given us time, and Solas believes a second attempt might succeed, provided the mark has more power. The same
How do you power up the mark?
Power used to open the breach in the first place. That is not easy to come by.
No, I wouldn't imagine. Sounds like fun. I don't know that Tali's quite that flip.
Clearly, you have something in mind.
We do.
Coffee. That's what I have in mind. I have coffee in mind.
Cullen,
And in hand, in
leader
fact.
of the Inquisition's forces.
Such as they are. We lost many soldiers in the valley, and I fear many more before this is through.
This is Lady
She's probably just like, he's so tall!
Our ambassador and chief diplomat.
I've heard much.
And
It's
she's
a
cute.
pleasure to meet you at last.
Everybody's
And
cute.
of
Oh no!
course You know Sister Liliana.
My position here involves a degree of...
She is our spy master.
Yes, tactfully put, Cassandra.
I love that. Liliana's about to make herself, you know, sound sneaky but above board, and Cassandra just goes, she's the spy. Yeah. I love it. Why am I here?
That's an impressive bunch of titles.
I mentioned that your mark needs more power to close the breach for good.
Yeah.
Which means we must approach the rebel mages for help.
Oh no.
I still disagree. The Templars could serve just as well.
Oh no.
We need power, Commander.
Stop
Enough
bitching,
magic
bitch.
poured into that mark.
My brain
destroy
can't,
us
like,
all.
decide between
Templars
bitching and
could
bickering,
suppress the
apparently.
breach, weaken it, so...
Pure speculation.
Either way,
I
stop
know
doing
as a
that.
Templar, I know what they're capable of.
Unfortunately, neither group will even speak to us yet. The Chantry has denounced the Inquisition, and you specifically.
That was quick.
That didn't take long.
Shouldn't they be busy arguing over who's going to become divine?
Some are calling you, a dwarf, the Herald of Andraste. That frightens the Chantry. The remaining clerics have declared it blasphemy.
I bet she doesn't specify
You.
much of
Chancellor
anything if
Roderick's
you're a
doing,
human.
No doubt.
She probably specifies a
limits our
mage,
options.
though.
Approaching the mages or Templars for help is currently out of the question.
Just how am I the Herald of Andraste?
People saw what you did at the temple, how you stopped the breach from growing. They have also heard about the woman seen in the rift when we first found you. They believe that was Andraste,
Gasp!
Even if we tried to stop that view from spreading,
which we have not.
the point is everyone is talking about you.
It's quite the title, isn't it? How do you feel about that?
I think basically the only thing I've ever selected here is it's unnerving, or I don't know, because that's all I can think of. Like if someone came up to you and was like, "Hey, so they're calling you Jesus' new prophet," Like, excuse me? I'm not Christian. What? I'm not Andrastian. What? You're saying what now?
I'm no herald of anything, particularly not Andraste.
I'm sure the Chantry would agree.
People are desperate for a sign of
Cullen's
hope.
just
For
snickering at
some,
this
you're
entire
that
thing.
sign.
Just like,
And to others,
this
a
is
symbol of
absurd to him at
everything
this
that has
point.
gone wrong.
They aren't more concerned about the breach, the real threat.
Of
They
course
do
not.
know it's a threat.
They need
just
something
don't
to
think we can
blame.
Stop
The Chantry is telling everyone you'll make it worse.
Ding
There
ding
is
ding ding
something we
ding.
can do. A Chantry cleric by the name of Mother Giselle has asked to speak to you.
I still don't like Mother
She is
Giselle.
not far and knows those involved far better than I. Her assistance could be invaluable.
Could be, or it could be shit. Why would she help us?
Why would someone from the Chantry help a declared heretic?
I understand she's a reasonable sort. Perhaps she does not agree with her sisters. You will find Mother Giselle tending to the wounded in the hinterlands near Redcliffe.
Will
Look
I
for
know?
other opportunities to expand the Inquisition's influence while you're there.
I love
We
that
need
Cullen's
agents
so
to
politically
extend our
minded
reach
this early in the
beyond
game,
this
because he's
valley.
really
And
not,
you're
like,
better suited
ever
than anyone
again.
to retrieve them.
In the meantime, let's think of other options. I won't leave this all to the Herald.
Dun dun dun! War table operations! Gotta get started somewhere. Let's go to the hinterlands, guys. Power 2. That's never gonna be that small again. Blah. Da 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 da. Scout Harding. The entire reason Tali does not have an updo. Just because, like I said, I think it would be incredibly weird to have two female dwarves of the same height with the same hairstyle. Like, that's a little bizarre. So, scout the hinterlands. We avoided the fighting as best we could. It's every bit as bad as we'd feared. The apostates are mad, attacking anything that moves, and it appears that the Templars here aren't following anyone's orders any longer. We located Mother Giselle and are trying to protect her, but she refuses to leave the refugees until we've ensured their safety. That will be hard to do without troops to push the apostates and the Templars out of the area. Commander Cullen asked me to make inquiries of Master Dennett, a retired horsemaster of Redcliffe who lives in the area. We tried to contact him about obtaining better horses for the Inquisition, but we've been unable to get through the fighting. Lead Scout Harding. Take everyone! And the only thing I really do to put together my party is to make sure that the rogue, whoever has the same class as my Inquisitor is the second person in the list. So like since I'm playing a warrior, Cassandra is also playing a warrior. She's going to be the middle name. So it's like I would go Varric Cassandra Solus or Solus Cassandra Varric, and I would not put Cassandra on either end, because then I would end up with, the same abilities if I go down one character, and that's just a pain in the ass. Now we get to talk to Scout Harding, who's going to be like, a dwarf?
Herald of Andraste. I've heard the stories. Everyone has. We know what you did at the breach.
Yeah.
It's good to see another dwarf in the Inquisition. There aren't many of us around. Inquisition
Go have a
Scout
drink with
Harding
Varric.
at your service. All of us here, will do whatever we can to help.
Cool, thanks.
Harding, huh? Ever been to
my
Great
God.
Walls Hightown?
I
I
can't
love
say
Varric.
I have.
And
Why?
I consistently
You'd be
forget about this
Harding
terrible joke.
No.
He's such a dad.
Ugh.
Ugh.
I'm starting to worry about these stories that everyone's heard.
Oh, there's nothing to worry about. They only say you're the last great hope for Thetis.
Oh yeah,
Oh, wonderful.
nothing to
The
worry about.
hinterlands are as good a place as any to start fixing things. We came to secure horses.
Also, I did
from
this
Red
intentionally,
Cliff's
but
old
holy
horsemaster.
shit, she is so
I
pale.
grew up here, and people always said that Dennett's
But I
herds
figure
were
if
the
she grew up
strongest
underground,
and the fastest this side
you know.
of the Frostbacks. But with the Mage Templar fighting getting worse, we couldn't get to Dennett. Maker only knows if he's even still alive. Mother Giselle's at the crossroads helping refugees and the wounded. Our latest reports say that the war's spread there too. Corporal
Of
Vale
course.
and our men are doing what they can to help protect the people, but they won't
I think
be able
Corporal
to hold out
Vale
very
is the guy
long.
from Starkhaven
You
that you
best
talked
get
to.
going. No time to lose.
Alright. So, first things first, we are going to ignore the shit out of the requisition officer. Fuck that. We're gonna zip down and talk to Corporal Vale so that I can run around and start killing rams over here. But first, Elfroot. Always Elfroot. So, let's run and find Corporal Vale / Mother Giselle. And then we will come back up here and kill some rams and shit. What I typically do is I try to get through, like, a map at a time. I'm considering doing this a little bit differently so that I can do, like, you know,
Interesting reading. Could be
main
worth a
plot
look.
stuff versus side quest stuff. My concern if I try to do that is that I'm gonna miss things. I don't like missing things. It bothers me. Right, Royal Elfroot. I forgot about that. I don't think I actually need that. I forget what it does. Unless it's like an upgrade for something, it's possible. That's in, like... This is how you upgrade that healing potion, or whatever. I just know that it's, like, the Royal Elfroot is, like, silvery purple. And regular Elfroot is green.
Mother Giselle should be somewhere nearby.
I mean, yes, but also... Give me all the iron! I can't... I don't think I can get up to that landmark without... Maybe I can? Is this the one where there's a rift right the fuck here? Or is this the one where I can just literally bounce up and be fine? No, there's a rift there. That's fucking Calenhad's foothold. Never mind. We'll go back to that. Iron! Give me the iron.
Inquisition forces. They're trying to protect the refugees.
Yeah, that
Looks
seems
like
to be
they
going
could
well.
use a hand.
This is gonna be great.
We are not
I have
hostage.
so much damage, guys. Oh, this is great. Ah. I'm doing 3 times as much damage as Cassandra. This is wonderful. Come at me, bitches. Yeah! Let's go.
We mean you no harm. Doesn't look like they're listening.
I appreciate the effort, Solus, but they don't give a shit. No, come back, come back. Barrack, move. I missed. Next.
Be
And then
ready.
from over
More
here.
coming our way.
Yeah. I ain't worried. I should maybe be a little more worried than I am, but also, I have a ridiculous fucking axe, so, you know. Come at me, bitch! Or you can try to go at Cassandra. That's fine. Cassandra, use a fucking potion, please. Thank you. I'm doing so much damage. This is so ridiculous. Where is the other one?
That's the end of it.
That was it. Wow. Alright, that's never been that easy before. That's probably because I made a ridiculous fucking axe. Actually, you know, I usually focus on crafting armor at first. This was probably a good call because I'm a warrior and I'm barely taking any damage to begin with, so I don't need, like, super intense, ridiculous armor. Because I'm not taking enough damage for it to matter. Also, I have guard.
There are mages here who can heal your wounds. Lie still.
Don't touch me, Mother. Their magic is...
If they're healing you with magic, I would be willing to bet they don't have to touch you, dude.
Is surely no more evil than your blade.
What?
Hush, dear boy. Allow them to ease your suffering.
I love that line because I feel like any of my characters would point out the same thing, except they would be a lot meaner about it. Because, like, you know, surely their magic is no more evil than your blade. You're a soldier. You kill people. This is a healer. He heals people. Let him fix you, or you're gonna die. But that's because I'm an asshole. So, you know. You're not against magic. You're a dwarf, honey. You don't care.
Is that why you asked for me? The Chantry has already...
I know what they've done.
Then
Do
why
you really?
am I here?
I know of the
I love that she was
Chantry
slightly floating for a second there.
and I'm familiar with those behind it.
I choose to believe she stepped on a rock.
Some of them are grandstanding, hoping to increase their chances of becoming the new divine. Some are simply terrified. So many good people, senselessly taken from us.
I mean, that's fair. It is, in fact, no excuse, but, you know. Because fuck the Chantry. Fuck the
And that's
Chantry.
an excuse? They're making things worse.
They don't know that. This is my point. Go to them.
I mean, fine.
Convince the remaining clerics you are no demon to be feared. They have heard only frightful tales of you. Give them something else to believe.
Wow, that's an interesting choice there, guys. But they want me dead.
They want to execute me, and you think I should just walk up to them?
You are no longer alone. They cannot imprison or attack you.
They could try.
Let me put it this way.
They can always try.
You needn't convince them all. You just need some of them to doubt. Their power is the unified voice.
All I can think of is when you get Sarah and you just can't, you have the option to go, we need doubters like you. Their power is their unified voice.
You make it sound simple.
I honestly don't know.
I think that is usually what I say.
Or sent to help us, but I hope. Hope is what we need now. The people will listen to your rallying call, as they will listen to no other. You could build the Inquisition into a force that will deliver us, or destroy us.
Her accent is so inconsistent.
And provide Sister Leliana the names of
Also,
those
can
in
we talk about
be amenable to
the
a
statue of what I assume is Andraste, because she looks like she's stretching, like she's just waking up with the arms in that position, and the big wide open mouth like that. That was weird. Okay, so we've talked to Mother Giselle.
The Inquisition's efforts in the area. We should speak with him.
We will speak with Corporal Vale as soon as I loot this chest. And read some shit. To my friend and faithful servant, revered Mother Giselle, the Grand Clerics tell me you've requested more aid in tending the refugees who are gathering in and around Redcliffe. Your efforts are indeed most appreciated, although in the future, when you are asked how many refugees will be helped by your efforts for requisitioning purposes, it may help if you provided an actual numerical answer, as opposed to the worthy but unspecific as many as we can. It breaks my heart to see this work cross the Maker's land, Giselle. I would that you were here with me at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. Your words have calmed many irate minds over the years, and we will not lack for those at the Conclave. Still, I am glad that the refugees have you to care for them. Too many in the halls of power have forgotten our faithful. If any pressure you to accommodate their views, you must let me know at once. Maker willing, this war shall all be over soon, Giselle. Be well and go with my blessing, in service of the Maker, Divine Justinian V. Chest! I think I usually miss all this shit. Give me all the elf fruit. Give me the things! Okay. That's it. That's it in here? That's it in here. Okay. I have to loot all these things that all of my enemies dropped while I was murdering them. Because that was... like, that was a fucking slaughter. Like, I expected that to be simpler with the axe that I made. I didn't know it was going to be that easy. That was... yikes. There's a guy. This is not the hut that he's in. First we gotta talk to the cook guy. Is the cook guy over here? No, he's up there. The cook guy is at the top of these stairs, I think. Nope. This is the guy. Or I'm just wrong. That's fine. Healer's notes. I don't need to go through the healer's notes. Because it's just basically telling you, this shit's bad. We gotta fix some shit. Shit's fucked. People don't have blankets. People don't have food. People don't have... things. Healers. People are hurt. There we go. There's the cook. I was close.
The last of the bread. Going to be a long, hungry night.
These people need food.
There are rams out in the hills. Good eating, cooks easy, and no lords around to kill you for poaching.
Which means that Varric's gonna get in some practice.
More likely to find mages than mutton.
Good luck.
Because it is so much easier to get the... particularly the rams, but most of the critters around with, a mage. I mean, a mage also. There he is. Okay, I thought he was in a house.
What's wrong with your wife?
Because you have to go find him in a house.
Can't catch a breath like cobwebs in her lungs. Our son Hindle makes a potion that lets her breathe. He's the only one who can make it, but he's joined that cult in the hills.
Gasp, there's a cult in the hills? That's way the hell in the southwest of the map. So that's gonna not likely be something that I get to today. So, first things first, I'm gonna see what other loot was dropped by the mages and Templars that I took care of. And then we're gonna go hunt some rams, because I also need leather. I need leather for armor. I need more iron because of course I do. Oh, but we're gonna talk to this nice old man first. Hi, Giles.
Things used to be peaceful around here.
I'm so sorry.
What is this place?
Map-making tenderfoots named this the Hinterlands. But right here, there's nowhere.
That is literally what the Hinterlands means in, you know, fantasy parlance. Hello, Giles.
I need to be on my way.
Goodbye, Giles.
Make a watch over you then.
He's so nice. So we're gonna talk to Corporal Vale really quick, and then we're gonna go hunt some rams. That's not what I wanted. That's right, there we go. I'm like, where the hell is Corporal Vale? But he's up this little tiny hill. I always forget this is here. Ugh. Ugh.
Corporal Vale,
I also always try to do this
Later then.
the hard way, and then he gets pissed
You're
off.
with the Inquisition. Corporal Vale, thanks for your help. The Mages and Templars don't seem to care who gets caught in their war.
That's typical.
Refugees here are in dire need of help. If the war doesn't kill them, cold or starvation will.
We got this.
What other problems do these refugees face?
We've got some injuries that go beyond.
What other
stitches and
problems?
fruit.
All of them.
I know healers are in short supply, but if you can find someone in Redcliffe to help us, it would save a lot of lives.
Cool.
You were concerned about refugees starving.
Yes. Many of them brought food, but they expected to be home by now, or safe in a city. There's a hunter up the hill who has some ideas.
Okay. Yeah, I already talked to him.
Is there anything we can do to help people?
Right,
deal
this
with
was
the cold?
Recruit Whittle. That's the other thing. I have to talk to the recruit at right before that weird little tunnel.
If you have any ideas, talk to him across the road.
And then, tell me of the Templars.
What can you tell me about the Templars?
All the Templars were called to Val Royeaux not long ago. These
Blurg de blurg de blurg.
Now they're killing rebel mages.
Establish
And
the
many
story.
refugees they think are mage sympathizers. Every Templar I've ever known has wanted to protect the common folk. These men defile their order's good name.
Yeah, yeah.
What can you tell me about the rebel mages?
The real rebels are up north in Redcliffe, dug in and taking care of their own. The ones
Which,
out
I mean,
here are
that's
just
pretty
imposters,
fair.
Locked up in the circles all these years, and now they've gone mad with power. The rebels in Redcliffe have washed their hands of them. I wish we could do the same.
What can you tell me about the man who's
Dennett.
supposed to be getting horses for the Inquisition?
Horsemaster Dennett. He lives on a farm to the west. Tough old fella. We haven't heard from him. Best we can tell, he's holed up until the Mages and Templars are done killing each other.
I mean, also fair.
Farewell.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like, you know, handle my horses out where they and I could die. That, you know, that doesn't sound particularly intelligent. So, we have talked to Corporal Vale. We should
Hopefully
talk
the
to
Inquisition can find some way to help
Recruit Whittle. Which means that I have to go back down the hill to where he is. 'Cause there's a tunnel. Wait. There's an exclamation point on that hill. That's Recruit Whittle. Okay.
More cold weather.
Talk to the guy.
Fool villagers. Where are their coats?
Probably, you know, home, where they got chased out of.
These refugees warm.
Blankets, warm clothes, all of it. These poor sods lost everything when the Mages and the Templars went crazy. If we were in a village, I could just pinch a blanket off a clothesline and be fine. Out here, I'm sure the apostates have plenty of supplies.
Are you
Just haven't
not
been able
wearing
to find them.
sleeves, you madman? He's saying it's gonna get cold and where are their coats, and he doesn't wear any fucking sleeves. Oh, I thought he was wearing like a linen shirt before. Oh my god.
Farewell.
And to you.
Alright. So that's that guy. We're gonna zip about, murder some rams. I mean hunt. And then go from there. Probably got another hour or so left that I can stream. I do have stuff to do later, but first things first. I've come up the back way so that I can find the camp. That's awesome. This is this the lake? Is that where I'm heading up to? Yes. It's gotta be. Okay, so that's extremely cool. Alright. Fantastic. And then there's the first ocularum you see. This is great. Yes, yes, Solus, I think that is a wonderful idea. Let's make camp here. Cool. Hooray! Yeah, I know how to make camps. No? Okay. Ignoring all of that nonsense. There's also a ridiculous amount of Blood Lotus in this camp, which is useful for a couple of upgrades and for... I forget what else, actually. I think there's a potion that uses it, or maybe a tonic. But I always forget about potions and tonics and things anyway, so if it's not like, it's a regeneration potion, I forget about them all the time. And I don't think they're in regeneration potions. I think it's just like, there's a couple of upgrades for your potions that use it, and that's it. Map to a waterfall. That's off behind the Templar camp, so I'm going to worry about that later. Get a little bit more Blood Lotus over here. Give me all the plants. Boop, 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 ba-doop, ba-doop, boop. There we go.
Who placed the skull out here, and for what purpose?
You'll see! Ocularum. Can locate shards, blah blah. She's so small.
Objects in the distance. I am not familiar with such magic.
Are you sure?
Of course, it had to be a skull that lights up creepy shit.
It would have to be a skull that lights up creepy shit, but how do you know that it's creepy? You don't know that, Varric. I mean, he is absolutely correct, but he doesn't know that yet. I'm missing one. Ah, there we go. Cool. Hooray! Alright. So, next thing. We're gonna go ram hunting. And then it's gonna pretty much be collecting resources, ram hunting, zipping around and doing weird little side quests, because as you can see in my upper right hand corner there, we need more power before we go to Val Royeaux. And that's really the next plot thing, is Val Royeaux. We're about to come up the backside of a rift, and I just saw it flash. So I haven't saved. Shit. I can't save because I'm too close to the rift. Now can I? No. I just want to save. Let me save, please. Yay! Okay. No, I'm not going to save over that. I save in different locations for different locations. The other thing I'm going to do, real quick, I'm going to level up my dudes. My people here. Leaping shot. Explosive shot. Well, that's cool. Let's go leaping shot for now. Cassandra, I decided would be focusing on the Vanguard shit, so Cassandra gets untouchable defense, because apparently she needs it right now, which I swear is just because the AI doesn't know how to use a warrior. Ooh, do we want to give Solus some defense? Or do we want to give him Mind Blast or Dispel? Mind Blast is a sudden, oh god, get away from me, so we'll give him that for now. Okay. Save again. Do that. Alright. Now we can see, first of all, I would like to, nope. That ram is going to be way across the map before I kill it. I want to see what level this rift is. How much am I gonna die? Oh, that's nothing. He says he's a level 4. Or HUD says he's a level 4. We got this. I ain't worried. We got 2 warriors. Disrupt rift, because I don't know where the other demon is. Because fuck it. Probably over there somewhere. Where is it hiding? I'm gonna be out of range of the rift before I find this demon, aren't I? I don't want to walk away too far. It's gonna tell me I'm out of range of the rift.
That tower is impressive.
Boom!
Even as a ruin. I wonder what dreams it might hold.
So let's, that's extremely weird, right? Because prepare for the next wave. Bitch! Fight me! Yeah. Fight me! I love playing warriors. I miss this. And, like, I don't love playing warriors because everything ends up too fucking easy. But also, it's just nothing can kill you. Cool. Alright. 3 power out of the 4 required. I'm not gonna worry about that. I want to do other shit. I need to get that off my screen for right now. Holy, yep, okay. That's what happens. That's it. Welcome to the hinterlands. Good damn. Alright. We're going to worry about Hunger Pangs for right now, and I will leave that one up on my screen, because that is the one that I'm going to be focusing on for a hot minute here.
Bandits, demons, mages, and Templars. The refugees are in dire need of help.
Fact. Alright. So. Oh, look! An Ocularum! This is the other problem with the hinterlands. I try not to select most, like, quests because I just get distracted by shit. Because the hinterlands, everything, like, it's so dense that I just get distracted by shit constantly. Ugh. I usually remember approximately where the shards are, but I never remember where the ones in the hinterlands are. At least not from the Ocularum. Which is honestly a little bit of a pain in the ass. Oh, right, because that one's, like, right up next to that first camp. So, it's actually a good thing that I got distracted by this Ocularum before going back to that camp and going, God damn it, there's supposed to be a shard here. Loot all the things. That's just showing me the Ocularum again. That's fine. Oh, that's a body. Ah! Well, that's not what I was going for. Hey, Varric. Wanna kill me a ram? Yay! And another one. Look at that! That one just spawned out of nowhere. That is not how that works, but thanks. How did I suddenly come up with, like, 6 more enemies? They're just coming out of nowhere. That's awesome. Okay. Got those. And some elf fruit. And some more ram meat. And leather! Hooray! And some more ram meat.
Make it take you!
And some more ram meat, I hope. Yep. I don't think I've ever done this part this quickly because I've always gone straight back to the camp and tried to do it from there. Like, holy shit, this is... 7. This is easy so far. I can't believe I just got that many rams spawned. Oh, and this is... alright. I guess we can deal with a rift. That is, what level is the rift? I'm not close enough to tell. Shit. Fine. Now I am. 4. Cool. I'm down. Fight me! Bitch! Cool. Next. Fight me! Bitch. There we go. I think I've mentioned this before, but I decided a while ago that a lot of the taunts were just the warrior just like screaming across the battlefield, bitch! So. Yay! World travel. I don't need to do that yet, but thanks. Wisp essence. Hooray! Next, let's talk to an elven widow. And try to make her life suck less, because her life sucks. Hello, Widow Mora.
Templar bastards killed my husband and stole the ring from his finger. They deserve to die.
Damn right they do.
You're saying the Templars attacked your husband?
Aye. He was digging out a stump. The fools couldn't tell a shovel from a mage's staff. Had to be safe, they said. Rebels everywhere attacking by surprise.
I love her outfit. Look at that
They took the
pretty
ring I gave
corset
him on our
thing.
wedding day in case
Vest.
it was magic.
Bodice. Whatever it is. It's pretty.
Farewell.
That's just them being super fucking racist against elves, I bet. It's an elf! With a thing, it must be a staff. He's a mage. Murder. That's a fennec. I don't need to kill a fennec. I don't want to kill a fennec. What's all this bullshit, then? Oh, wait. Wait, shit. This is the house that the Templars are burning down, isn't it? No, this is just a fucking random-ass fight in the middle of nowhere. Whatever. Let's go. I can take it. I can take all of y'all! Fight me! And I mean that in a literal sense. I can take all of y'all. Come at me, bitch!
It must have been some time since the Renegade Templars faced a mage of any talent.
No conceit there.
The apostates have fled to the hills.
He's like, they can't handle me. I'm special. Yeah! Is that 8? That's 8. Cool. Next. That's a Fennec. And probably another Fennec, because I don't see it. Which must mean it's small. Oh, this is not a good decision. Okay. It's fine. Ouch. Elf root. Collect all the things. Give me the iron. Mostly, I need rams. But also, I need to collect iron. Can I sneak up on a ram if I get up here? No. Hi, Six! Thanks for the host. How's things? I'm just running around in the very beginning of the game right now, so nothing particularly interesting yet unless you want me to talk about my Inquisitor, because I'm always willing to do that. Not too bad. That's good to hear. Actually, I have had an excellent week. It's just been very busy, so it's kind of nice to be able to, like, stop. It's my day off. I'm doing good. Tell you a fun fact about them. I can literally, I can't think of anything that I would necessarily call a fun fact, but I can, like, I intentionally made her eyes, like, incredibly blue because, there is this stuff in Dragon Age called lyrium that dwarves are technically resistant to. I'm playing a dwarf. Dwarves mine lyrium and turn it into lyrium potions. The lyrium potions are liquid magic, but it's not in liquid form when they mine it, obviously. So, basically, you're turning magic in rock form into magic in liquid form, so that your mages can do more magic and your Templars can do more Templar shit. So, she comes from a mining caste family, a relatively well-to-do mining caste family, and I made her eyes, like, ridiculously intensely blue because I was like, a blue-eyed person mining lyrium. Shit affects you. So, yeah. Like, I do that with, my elves' eyes were, like, intensely ridiculous colors because they're elves, and they have some inherent magic. But, like, dwarves, the way I think of dwarves in Dragon Age is, first of all, a lot of dwarves are rogues, so I intentionally did not play a rogue either time I've played a dwarf. I've played 2 warriors instead. But also, because of the whole living underground sneaky thing, I figured maybe they have a tapetum lucidum like some animals, so they can, you know, see in the dark. Get back here! I need ram meat. And leather. Get back here. Fight me. Not you. Not the Fennec. Fight me! That is at least a quick way to move. Get back here! Please. Please. Fuck off. Ah! Yeah. Fucking thing. Okay. Fine. You have earned your freedom. I'll go kill another ram. Is there a class in particular that is really challenging for me? Actually, my favorite class is the one that is the biggest challenge for me. I suck at trying to play rogues, but they're my favorite. Excuse me, they're my favorite class because they get all the fun abilities. Warriors are just like it's almost too easy playing a warrior because you don't, like, if you create your warrior in a sensible manner, you can just soak all the damage that you take. You don't take a significant amount of damage if you use the warrior abilities right. So it's kind of the opposite for me. It's not like this class is a challenge, so I never do it. It's more like warriors are OP and I never use them because it's too easy. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun to be able to, like, the last Dwarven Warrior I played, Lavi, I was playing a specialization called Champion, which is basically all about being like, yeah, I'm awesome, come at me, enemies. So, I pretty much, like, I went to fight one of the dragons, and my party all died. And then I just took out the dragon with just my Inquisitor. So that was pretty awesome, admittedly, but also it was like, why am I doing this? This is too easy. And that was the first time I had played on hard. Nightmare is ridiculous, but then again, I was playing a rogue when I played on Nightmare. I might be okay playing as a warrior on Nightmare. I like stealth and stuff when I play games, so I'd probably be a rogue. You'd probably like a rogue type. Well, that's actually part of the reason I really suck at being a rogue, because I try to, like, I like all of the ridiculous excessive damage bullshit that you get as a rogue, because you crit, like, all the time. But it also means that, you know, you have to actually use the stealth stuff. And I forget to use the stealth stuff consistently. It's like, why am I playing a rogue again? Oh, right, because I can crit anything. Don't be me. So I try to play my rogues as tanks, which is part of the reason I do so much better as a warrior. Because I forget to stealth and I forget to do all of the flanking. Like, I suck at flanking. I'm not very good as a rogue. I suck at playing rogues. But I always want to play a rogue. I always default to rogues. It's just dumb.
This must be one of the caches Recruit Whittle mentioned.
So what I should really do is I should default to warriors, but warriors are boring. Ah, yes. A letter found on a dead dwarf. I need you to check a cave up in the hills off the path between Redcliffe and Haven. If you can get past the mages and Templars, it's worth it. Purest vein I've seen, so close to the surface. He's talking about lyrium, by the way. Or, well, the writer. They are talking about lyrium. I like to sneak and I like playing support, but also I love big AoE. Okay, if you want area of effect shit, you want either a warrior with a giant fucking area of effect weapon, because they have those, or you want a mage. Mages are the ones that do area of effect damage in Dragon Age. But I'm playing a dwarf. There are no dwarven mages. Dwarves cannot be mages in Dragon Age. Because, or not necessarily because they're resistant to lyrium, but dwarves are resistant to magic. And for the same reason, that's why they're resistant to lyrium, because, you know, lyrium is basically magic in a rock. Or in a liquid form by the time you get to the potions. I'm gonna... Varric! Shoot the thing! Shoot the thing, but better! Murder! I can't get it from here. Fuck. Oh, Varric, honey. We gotta get you a better chest plate. Look at how absurd the back of that looks. Oh my goodness. Aw, oh, man. Oh, and they're sneaking up on fucking Solus. He's gonna die. Let's not do that. Fight me! Ignore the mage. One of the things that I consistently forget is that if you're not a warrior, you're pretty much squishy. Jesus, and that's me being resistant to magic. That was an ice mine that I just stepped on.
Mages and Templars and innocent people.
And it took out like half of my health.
Some things never change.
I'm guessing it's because I'm a squishy level 4. It's fine. I got this. I'm a tank. I am a tiny tank. It's gonna be great. I basically I mentioned that dwarves are usually sneaky in Dragon Age. That's actually one of the reasons I've only played Dwarven Warrior, because I was like, I don't want to be a stereotypical smuggler type. I don't want to do that. So, I basically, I had been planning to play an Elven Warrior, excuse me, and a Dwarven Rogue, because I've already played a Dwarven Warrior, and I've already played now 3 Elven Rogues, but at the time 2. And I was like, I don't want to play, you know, just all the same nonsense. Sorry, just found a love letter on a dead body. I'm not gonna read it, though. My Lady Velena, blah blah, flowery language. So I was like, I don't want to play into the stereotype. I don't want to be a stereotypical smuggler dwarf. I don't want to be a Carta dwarf. I don't like that for my characters. So I guess I'm gonna turn my elf into an assassin. So in not playing into the Dragon Age stereotypes, I'm playing into the, you know, other stereotypes about the way dwarves and elves work in literally anything else. So, yeah. But it also means I've played 2 Dwarven Warriors and 3 Elven Rogues, because I've played all 3 rogue specializations with elves. And my 3 warriors thus far have been a dwarf, a human, and now another dwarf. And actually, that plays into the specialization that I'm doing for Chantal, aka Tali. And this was the name thing that I tweeted about a while back. Chanter, which is where the name Chantal comes from, means to sing in French, and Tali means my dew in Hebrew, so tal is dew. So Chantal, singing dew. Lyrium, the magic rock / potion. Lyrium is supposed to sing or hum. Lyrium has a song. So I named my minor Singing Dew. Because I'm that guy. I am that extra. God friggin'. Nope. So yeah, so that's the main thing about Tali. I'm a nerd, pretty much, is the main thing about Tali. So. Also, because dwarves come from underground, and my current dwarf specifically, lived in Orzammar and was a miner. I made her super pale, and it's like it was a little alarming seeing her next to Scout Harding, who is the dwarven scout, because, you know, Scout Harding is this adorable little dwarf lady that has, you know, freckles for days and all this other shit, and it's just like, there's Tali, pale as a ghost. Well, see, now you just need to be a bard warrior. Find a tuba, make that your shield. Well, I mean, bards. So, are you familiar with Dragon Age bards at all? Because they're a lot of fun, and also do not at all work the way D&D bards do. I mean, I guess technically you could, but basically bards in Dragon Age are a special class of assassin from Orlais, which is Dragon Age France. So oh my goodness, what is going on with my map? The bards in Dragon Age are they originate in Orlais. So, like I said, Dragon Age France. And, like, when I say Dragon Age France, I mean, like, picture Louis XVI, ridiculous amounts of fucking, like, gold everywhere, and fucking, like, absolutely, utterly ridiculous, overdone extra bullshit. So, all of that nonsense. And they have something called the game in Orlais, which You just lost the game. But the great game in Orlais is it's basically just a bunch of nobles sending out assassins after each other and doing murder. I haven't lost in years. Too bad. I'm sorry. I don't. I mean, I'm not sorry, but I wasn't even thinking about that when I started talking because Dragon Age. But anyway, so the great game in Orlais is they're just basically murdering each other for sport. They are sending out because they are bored nobles. They are sending out assassins after each other. But they have to do it all sneaky-like. They can't just be like, I'm going to hire you to murder this guy, because everybody in Orlais is aware of the great game and how it works. So everybody in Orlais is like, nah, I'm going to hire better assassins, and they're going to entertain you. And then it's a big, complicated thing, and I'm not explaining it very well. But I have now found a note about a Templar stronghold and a stronghold of the Apostate Mages, both of which are in the hinterlands. What a shock. Actually, I can do this the simple way. What I can do is can I type? The answer is no. The Great Game, also known as the Grand Game. Here we go. From the Dragon Age Wiki. You can... Oh, look at that. That's a codex entry right there. I'm just going to read the codex entry. Orlais presents a veneer of opulence, but the aristocracy are committed to a system of social one-upmanship they call the game. Sprawling receptions delight friend and foe, while bards strike from shadow with insinuation, larceny, and assassination, often to the strange delight of their targets. Control of these auteur agents is yet another layer of the game. So that's as that's about as succinct as it gets. Oh my goodness. There's a link at the bottom of this entry to another codex entry that just, oh god, okay. So let me read this one first. The rules of the Grand Game are clear. Anything goes. If a noble cannot obtain the heights of prestige in the court by purchase, alliance, or deed, he can always obtain it by removing his rivals. In this, bards have always been invaluable. Orlesians cannot do without music and dancing. Even when they know that half the musicians in their ballroom are spies in the employ of their enemies, they welcome the scoundrels with open arms. In fact, that makes the music and musicians so much more popular, for it makes the game more exciting. So, kind of gives you an impression of how utterly fucking ridiculous Orlesians are. There's also the Antivan Crows, which that's another assassin band from Antiva. Oh, that's interesting. The Crows of Antiva may be the most famous and most expensive of Thetis' assassins, but they are not the most active. That dubious honor belongs to the Shadows of the Emperor, the personal cater of killers employed by the throne of Orlais. Also, almost exclusively, the Shadows work against other noble families in Val Royeaux. No one knows who they are, not even the sitting Emperor, and some in the court dismiss them as only a myth. The assassins have slipped into aristocratic life, working as palace servants, ladies-in-waiting, and on one notorious occasion, the Chamberlain himself. This armor... Yeah, okay, because that's a codex entry for armor. So, things like that, except I also just... Oh my god, okay, so there's this item. This was the thing that was linked that was making me go... So there was an item in Dragon Age Origins called Catriel's Grasp. Catriel is a character in one of the companion books, because the Dragon Age companion novels are actually really, really good. Like, I didn't want to give them a try after the travesty that was the Assassin's Creed novels, because they suck. But the Dragon Age ones are really fucking good. And Catriel is a rather important character in the first one, to avoid spoilers. And she's described as this elf with, like, medium dark skin and honey-colored hair and cascading curls and all this other shit. So she's supposed to be like ridiculously hot and gorgeous and she's an elf, so I automatically liked her. But so the codex entry for this item called Catriel's Grasp from Origins, the codex text: the Theron family refused to die. This was a problem for the Empire, for the stubborn Fereldans would not accept Orlesian rule so long as some vagabond in the woods could call himself their king. That's King Merrick, who is the main character in one of these books, and also the father of the king at the beginning of Origins, who dies almost immediately. It's kind of horrifying. So the Orlesian court sent their agents in Ferelden a gift, a bard, to assassinate the surviving Prince Merrick. She did not, of course, succeed, but that's another story. And then it says further information: the story of Merrick and Catriel is told in Dragon Age: The Stolen Throne. It was so good! Oh my god! And so while I was reading Stolen Throne, there is this one point in Orzammar. So you're in the not in Orzammar, but in the Deep Roads, in the dwarven civilization, which it is a fallen civilization. The Deep Roads fell to the Darkspawn centuries ago by the time of the game.
Now, Seeker. I'm just trying to be friendly.
Try to be quiet instead.
When you
I love these guys.
along to talk, perish the thought.
What a punk. So the dwarven civilization fell to the Darkspawn, which are your like fucking monsters in Dragon Age. Like, you think demons are a thing if you only see Inquisition. Demons are not anywhere near as horrifying or freaky as Darkspawn. Fuck your demons. They are nothing to Darkspawn. And you see some Darkspawn in Inquisition, but they're not... Like, there's not that many because you're not in the middle of a blight. And the blight is just basically the Darkspawn have taken over. That's what a blight is. The archdemon has risen. It's a long story. There's a lot of lore that goes into it.
I cannot say what it is, but there must be a reason the skull illuminated the object.
But long story short, the Darkspawn are terrifying. The Darkspawn are the reason for the fall of the dwarven civilization, and the reason everybody in, you know, your current Dragon Age games thinks of the dwarven civilization as just the city of Orzammar. So beyond Orzammar, there's the Deep Roads, which once connected Taigs, which are basically dwarven kingdoms, underground. So there's this one point in The Stolen Throne, which is one of the companion novels, where King Merrick, which Prince at the time because he hadn't retaken his throne, but King Merrick and his party, including Logain McTeer, who is a fucking piece of shit traitor, not of Merrick. He betrays you in Origins, so I hate him. And, like, I'll get back to that. But so, Merrick and Logain and their party are in the Deep Roads. And there's this one point where, because, of course, you're in the Deep Roads, there's dwarves. The Legion of the Dead, which are this, like, I cannot express how, like, utterly incredible the Legion's lore is, because the Legion of the Dead is this military band, mercenary band, I guess, better said, of dwarves who basically to their people and their families, they are already dead. That's why they are the Legion of the Dead. Everybody has, you know, wished them well, celebrated their life. They've already had their funerals by the time they are in the Legion of the Dead. So, there we go. Okay, everybody's full health again. The Legion of the Dead starts singing a dirge in this book, and I had Spotify going, and what comes up on my fucking Spotify but Misty Mountains from the Hobbit movies. I was like, alright, that's a thing that just happened. Oh, holy shit, I need to put this book down for a minute. Oh my god. It was intense. It was intense. It was really cool. Like, it was perfect timing. Oh my god, it was amazing. And like, of all things, the Legion of the Dead is singing a dirge, and you have fucking Misty Mountains in your other ear. It's oh, it was intense. It was great. But yeah, Logain McTeer. Basically, the reason I finally actually read this book, I've owned The Stolen Throne for a while, but a friend of mine, one of my students actually, but a friend of my coworker, told me we were just shooting the shit after weapons class one day, and he loves Logain McTeer because he read this book and went, no, but you're gonna understand him. This is gonna make you like Logain. I was like, I really think that you're full of shit, but I'll give it a shot. So, I read the book, and it was really fucking good. And it made me hate Logain even more, because I understand him. So, it's one of those, like, if I had read it before I played the game, it might have saved his character for me, but because I played the game first, and he is the entire reason the Battle of Ostagar goes so badly. It is all his fault, because he doesn't do his job. He goes, we can't win this, we're fucking leaving. So, he's the reason the Grey Warden forces at, Ostagar were fucking decimated. So I hate him. But he has a reason. And I do mean a reason, not an excuse. He has a reason. But that doesn't excuse it for me. Like, you made your decision, and you're still an asshole for it. Like, you have decided that your shitty fucking, like, he made a promise, and he continued to carry out that promise. Okay, fine.
The Inquisition could determine the nature of these objects.
But in order to carry out that promise of don't you risk the entire fucking army for me, he then, like, he has no fucking soul by the time you meet him. He has no compassion by the time you meet him in Origins. He has no, like, he's not even, ugh, I hate him so much. Yes, and 6, that is exactly how I feel about a lot of characters in Dragon Age, honestly. Like, I appreciate Logain, and I fucking hate him, and he's so well written, so I hate him more. Like, they did a fantastic job with Logain McTeer. I fucking hate him. And for the same reason, I fucking love Solus. You have probably hit enough spoilers by this point that you have an idea of why, but if you don't know, I will shut my fucking mouth. I love Solus. He's really well done, in a totally different manner. Right, that was this thing. There's an easy way to get up to that part. There we go. Okay. Because I have this map that gets me to this part. Zip down here. I love spoilers. Okay, alright, that's fair. So, I've played this fucking game 9 times, dude. Well, 9 characters 10 times, because I replayed my original Inquisitor for my first Dragon Age stream. So, Solus. Oh, where do I start this explanation? First of all, Solus is the mage in my party right now, because he comes to you like, as a package deal with Cassandra and Varric at the beginning of the game, they're your party. Today is my first stream of this playthrough. So I have my 3 default party members right now, and that's it. And obviously my Inquisitor. So I haven't gone out to get any extra characters yet. You know, I haven't gone to advance the plot. I am running around in the hinterlands. So Varric is the dwarf. I have taken him out of his original armor because that one had significantly better stats. So you don't get to see his excellent fucking default outfit. Cassandra is still in her default armor from the beginning of the game because I didn't have anything better yet. And this is Solus. Solus is the one that he's wearing a jawbone, first of all, as a necklace, a pendant. I don't know why, but he's wearing a fucking jawbone, and it's black. He's the one that the fandom alternately calls Egg, Apostate Hobo, like, the entire fandom, like, it doesn't matter if you like him or not, you're gonna be making fun of him because he dresses like a fucking hobo. Whereas, you know, Vivienne is a mage and she is, you know, the palace enchanter of fucking Orlais, so she's super fancy all the time. And then Dorian is flamboyantly gay and extremely fancy all the time because he's from Tevinter. So you have these 2 super fancy mages, and then there's fucking Solus. So, you know, that's Solus. That's his outfit. He's got a weird fucking, like, fuzzy vest on over the most comfortable looking sweater tunic ever, and it just looks terrible. But he looks super comfy. Don't get me wrong. Like, I slightly want to make the shitty tunic just so I can have it as, like, pajamas, but that's not something you wear in public. Oh my god, Solus. No, he is not wearing shoes. Elves don't tend to wear shoes. Or at least not, like, forest elves. He's not a Dalish elf. Don't call him a Dalish elf. That's where most of the forest elves are. But he's not a city elf either, because he's actually an ancient piece of shit. Like, he talks about, you know, having dreamed of ancient battles and things of that nature, because that's the way his magic works. But he's an ancient elf, so he comes from before cities. He comes from before the Dales. So he's, like, if you play an elf, in Inquisition you can only play a Dalish elf. You don't get the chance to play a city elf. But, so if you play a Dalish elf in Inquisition, he's very scornful at first, because he's like, well, you are like children. You are like little baby. You do not understand our traditions, yada yada blah blah, whatever. And then he says something about slave markings on your face, because the Dalish, you have the option to make your Inquisitor with tattoos. So, you know, all of my elves have fancy tattoos because it's awesome. Okay. Long story short, and this is like heavy DLC spoilers. Like, this is post-game DLC. In Trespasser. Well, before Trespasser, the last thing that happens during the game is that you find out that this Witch of the Wilds that you've known about since, you know, Dragon Age Origins, Flemeth, is actually an elven goddess named Mythal, and that's complicated, so I'm not going to go into it further. But, at least not right this second. But so, you find out that Flemeth is actually the elven goddess Mythal, and then you see Solus go up to Mythal, she calls him old friend, and they apologize to each other, and he kills her. Which is not a thing, because part of the complicated bullshit with Mythal is that she's been killed before because gods and possession and weird shit. So that aside. So, you find this shit. Oh, bear! 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 Let's see if I can kill a bear! That's a level 8. I'm gonna die. Let's find out. Let's see if I can do this. We got this. I got 2 warriors. I got this. Hang on. Hold that thought. Solus killed Mathal. Let me... Bears. Bears. Bear. 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 We're in trouble. We're in trouble. We're in trouble, guys. We're in deep. Come at me, bear! Ow. Don't actually. Oh, we're in trouble. Okay. Okay. I'm a level 4. This bear's a level 8. I'm in trouble. I did it! How many potions did I use? Half of them. That's not bad. Okay, so Solus killed Mathal. Oh, fuck yeah, I get bear hide! Sweet! That's a really high quality leather for this early in the game. So, Solus killed Mathal. You find out in Trespasser over the course of the entire DLC, among other things, because one of the things that is, you know, the background for that DLC is you're dealing with a Kunari invasion, and that's a differently complicated thing. But over the course of this DLC, the other thing that you find out is that, one, Solus is actually a god. The same way Flemeth was actually a god. Solus is the god that the Dalish refer to as the Dread Wolf, Fen'Harel. Yes, hobo god, exactly. Except, also over the course of this DLC, you find out that the elven gods, and this is one of my favorite things about Dragon Age, because it kind of turns your understanding of the words on its head. Because if you think about a god, like if you're monotheistic, particularly if you grew up Christian, like Christians think about God as this like fucking anthropomorphic dude sitting on a cloud. Like it's actually kind of, it's very pagan to me, because it's like, it's what I picture as Zeus, like, but whatever. So that bullshit. But like, you think of it about as like this was an immensely powerful creature that is in no way human and blah blah whatever. Worship no other false gods. That actually comes from the quote unquote Old Testament, which is also just the Hebrew Bible, the Torah. That is, I will get back to you on that one, but that doesn't actually come into it. But to make a long story short, it's like you think of God as this type of being. You grew up in a religious family. That is fair. So, but the way you think about God as a concept is like it's a totally different type of being. There's nothing like God that is, you know, a person or an animal or whatever. And then pagan folks tend to be a little bit more like close to their gods, I guess, but they still, as far as I'm aware, think of them as like, this is a different type of being. This is not like, they don't have anything in common with people, except that, you know, like pagan gods are typically more like emotional than the way Christians think about God. But Dragon Age decided that the elven gods, first of all existed. This does not necessarily mean that the Maker, which is their analog for the Christian God, does not exist. This just means that the elven gods existed also. And they're not a different kind of being. They're just extremely powerful mages who had control over the elven people, so the elves basically saw their power and went, oh no, and dedicated themselves to these gods. So the elves were enslaved by these gods. And then they went, oh, this was a bad idea. So the tattoos that your Dalish elf has are, when he calls them slave markings, he's being literal. The other thing that you find out is that Fen-Harel was, you know, they call him an agent of chaos. They call him basically he's a trickster god. He's, you know, anything that you could apply to trickster gods and other mythologies is associated with Fen-Harel. He is an agent of chaos, he is a trickster, he is all of this other shit. And the way it is put out in Trespasser, you find out Fen-Harel is a quote-unquote trickster figure because he was looking at the other Evanuris, the elven gods, and going, no, you're assholes. You are not going to enslave our people. How fucking dare you? But it gets really weird and complicated because like there's a disconnect between that and what happened, why were you asleep for thousands of years, what's the deal? And then when he comes to the Inquisition, he is trying to basically unfuck the world because he sundered the world as it exists, Thedas, from the Fade, or the Beyond, if you're talking to an elf. The realm of magic which exists in dreams, to which dwarves have absolutely no connection. He created the veil between worlds, because they went there, in order to basically to sunder the Evanuris from their power, to make these ancient elves unable to enslave the what became the elven people, basically. So Inquisition is what happens when he tries to destroy the veil that he created, because when he created it, he thinks that he destroyed what he thought of as their world. Because their world was, magic was as free as breathing and talking to spirits as friends, and they had all of this other shit, and it was this is not the guy I need to talk to finish this quest. Like the way they describe it, the world of magic was a part of their world. Magic was just another element like fire or water or air, which is part of the reason you get spirit magic in Inquisition, because I really think they're trying to drive that point home. So for Solas, for Fen-Harel, that was his world. And he thinks that he ruined it by creating the veil. So Inquisition is him going, I ruined the world. I have destroyed the world. Now I have to fix it. So I'm going to tear down the veil. I am going to destroy everything that has since been created. So Trespasser is you catching up, your Inquisitor finding all of this shit out and going, no, excuse me, the world can be saved, why are you doing this? And that's where you're left before Dragon Age 4. He rips off your arm, because the breach created the anchor in your arm, the magical glowy thing that lets you close all of these demonic rifts. It's a part of your arm. He cannot remove it except by removing your arm, so he does. And that's where you're left going into Dragon Age 4, going, okay, my Inquisitor has lost their arm, and I kind of want to kill Solas, but I'm not sure if I can save Solas, and I'm not sure how much I agree with Solas. I don't know what the fuck to do here. So that's why the entire internet exploded when the Dragon Age 4 previews started happening. Because we were all looking at it going, oh my god, what? Oh my god, there's red lyrium in there. That's going to go back to Dragon Age 2. Because red lyrium is lyrium that's been corrupted by the blight, and then we get back to what is the blight? The blight is darkspawn. Why are darkspawn a thing that exists? The darkspawn are corrupted people from, you know, like there's specific genlocks are dwarves that were corrupted, and I forget what some of the other ones are, but they're Hurlocks are humans that were corrupted, and I think they never confirmed this, but I suspect that ogres are corrupted Kunari. You know, so shit like that. You get some of this as you're playing through, but you don't, like, there's not a whole lot of, I don't know. That sentence got away from me. But it's really exciting, and it's really also bullshit, and I want to see where they're going with it. It's... Ugh. Sorry. I get ineloquent when I get, like, emotional about things, and there's... Ugh. It is coming out... I think they're planning to... Sure. I think it's planning to release early 2022, I think, but I'm not positive. I don't know if I read that somewhere and just assumed it was fact, or if I read that somewhere and it was actually confirmed. I just gave Cassandra a better helmet than I have. That's not what I wanted to do. What does the Elven Cowl do? That's range defense. Whereas these are... Ooh, willpower. We can get rid of those. Willpower, range defense. Willpower, range defense. That's melee defense. You can have willpower. Yeah, she can keep melee defense because she's getting murdered a lot. Oh, look! Better armor! Hooray! Oh, that means that I have to go move my sleeves too, doesn't it? Is that better than what Cassandra's wearing here? Yes. Not by a lot, but it is. So here's another fun thing about Dragon Age. The way they put together their armor stuff, the armor will look different on different characters. So this defender coat that says 54 next to it, 54 armor, that's what it looks like on Cassandra. If I go back up to Tali, my warrior, that's what it looks like on Tali. So all of this stuff is going to look different on different characters, and I really like that they did that. Because it also means that some of the armor would look absolutely fucking terrible on certain characters if it was shaped differently for that character. But it also means that, like, Cassandra doesn't lose her, like, extremely Templar warrior aesthetic that's, like, all of the leather and also some metal because armor. So she doesn't lose her aesthetic, her Seeker aesthetic, but... you know. And, like, Iron Bull is never going to be wearing a shirt. There's a couple of armor types that give him, like, a breastplate, and they look really fucking weird. But most of the armor for Bull, who I do not have in my party yet, there's no chest plate, there's no shirt, it's just a strap for, like, a shoulder pauldron. So I need to keep that so that I can get the Defender coat arms off of it. Yeah, that's about it for that for now. I got accessories! Varric is the only one who could possibly use that, even though he doesn't have knockout powder yet. Belt of Sunder and a Ring of Attack. Oh, you know what? I had a Life Ward amulet on earlier that clearly are the reason I actually killed that bear, because it's not there anymore, which means that I used it, which means that Tali should actually have died at one point. And it just pretty much has to be because of the bear. Okay, I'm going to save real quick. And then I'm going to sell some shit real quick, because I did just put a couple of things in my valuables, which means that I can sell it with one press of a button, which is really nice. Okay. let's look here, because I don't want to end, like, right on that, but also the hinterlands are entirely composed of, like, little tiny fucking mini quests. There are tons and tons and tons of little tiny quests. Let's go find the red lyrium vein. Where is that? That should be... Oh, that's almost where I was. And there's an apostate cache down there. I have to go past this rift. Okay, that's not too bad. Yes, let's do that. Because that at least leads me to a little bit more lore that I can talk about. I have played enough Dragon Age and read enough about it and done enough, like, writing and research and all of this other shit. I could answer a lot of questions about Dragon Age, so if there's anything that you're like, hey, how does this work in Dragon Age, I can probably answer that question. Like, I am a total, utter, complete Dragon Age nerd. It's a lot of fun for me. I love what they have done with this world, and I love that, like, they've done some shit in previous games where I was like, wow, that's queerphobic and awful, and then they learned, they apologized, they did better. So, you know, even the times when they fuck up, they do better. I have a lot of respect for people that can do that with an established world and that can do better. And then, you know, they created Dorian, who is... Like, I have so much love for Dorian's character. They were really respectful. They created Dorian not as the token gay character, but as the believably gay character that, like, if you're queer, it kind of affects everything. And that's what they did, but they didn't make it like, I'm going to only talk about being gay, because they made him a character, and then they went, okay, what would that particular trait do for this character? Like, he has this incredibly, incredibly poignant, depressing personal quest at the beginning of the game that is really fucking relatable if you've ever dealt with homophobic bullshit or queerphobic bullshit. You know, that's his character. That's how you are introduced to Dorian, and they did a absolutely beautiful job presenting him in a respectful manner and respecting the fact that this shit happens to real people and letting your Inquisitor respond to that how they will. You know, you have the option to be an utter piece of shit, but it is pretty clearly condemned by the entire game. You know, I understand 6. I do too. I get it. I understand. They also, this is also the game where they integrated Krem. Krem is the Iron Bull's lieutenant, and Krem is trans. And they're not shy about telling you that Krem is trans. And he's wonderful. Everybody loves Krem. Like, if you don't love Krem, you have no taste. He's a fucking badass warrior. You know, it comes up that basically Iron Bull met Krem because he was trying to serve in the Tevinter military, which is not a thing that women can do. He was discovered as trans and then had to go on the run. So he was about to be, he was pretty much caught by one of their, I don't recall what the guy's job was. I don't know if it was like a bounty hunter or if it was, you know, some official. I don't recall. But Bull met Krem because the guy that was hunting Krem had a flail, and Bull got in the way of the flail. And that's why the Iron Bull has one eye. Because he got in the way of the fucking flail that was coming for Krem. And, like, they, you know, Krem basically, like, fondly starts making fun of him. Like, the big oaf couldn't, you know, find a way to do it that saved his eye or whatever. It was like, they make it very obvious that these people are valued not in spite of their queerness, not in spite of whatever traits they have, and also not just because of them, but, like, alongside those traits, if you will. They did a fantastic job with Dorian. They did a fantastic job with Krem. They are being as explicitly supportive of the queer community as they can do by writing a fucking game. Which was also why when I found out about the Fortitudo project, which was a fan-made art book, which was all about Dorian going, and the proceeds were going to trying to help LGBT folks that were on the run / you know, being persecuted in I think Russia and Chechnya at the time. First of all, I immediately bought the art book, and it is fucking gorgeous, and I regret nothing. It is so beautiful. There's so much gorgeous art in there, and they got Patrick Weeks, who was the main writer for Dorian's character, to do the introduction. And he, like, in his introduction, he was saying things like, you know, I'm so glad I got to share Dorian with the world, and I'm so glad that his character resonated with so many people, and all of this other shit. And it was just, it was fucking, like, the intro was beautiful, and the art was beautiful, and, like, I forget exactly how much the project raised, but it was like, it was thousands of dollars going to these people, and it, like, I regret nothing. It is, I am always gonna be, you know, all about trying to boost charities like that, you know, and as a matter of fact, Zeldathon is coming up on the 27th of December, and I'm really excited about that too. So anytime anyone says video games are, you know, and they're trying to be negative about video games, I just want to be like, fucking fight me, first of all. Like, this is how dare you be shitty about something that people enjoy, just in general, but also people use this shit for good. Any media can be used to add representation for people, to, you know, like Dragon Age has also been... Oh, Pokethon starts in an hour. I was unaware of that. That's exciting. I'll see if I can throw up a host for that once I'm out and about, because I'm going to be ending sometime in the next hour, but I want to at least get through this train of thought. I'm really good at getting distracted, but the like, when people are shitty about video games, I'm just like, first of all, that is media that people will consume, where it is important to represent people who are not, you know, straight cisgender white men. Fuck you. You know, like, there are different races in video games that, you know, that maybe you live in a super white area where you've never met a person of color. People of color exist in video games. That is important. You know, fantasy races exist in video games, which, you know, that's imperfect, but it gives people something to relate to. You know, the original Lord of the Rings dwarves were based directly on Jews. As a like, Tolkien said this himself. He based the dwarves on Jews, and you can see, like, through The Hobbit into the Lord of the Rings, into the rest of the series, you can see how his opinion of Jewish people changed over time to be basically just to be less shitty. But, you know, it went from, you know, these are, you know, a greedy people and look at how much Thorin is obsessed with gold, excuse me, to, you know, Gimli being the noblest character and being recognized as such by Galadriel, so much that she gave him 3 strands of her own hair, where when she was asked this by one of the sons of Feanor, I think, anyway, some important elf dude, she was like, no, you're a fucking creep. But, so, that was where the dwarves kind of came from, so you kind of can't take the Jewish out of dwarves in general, just because that's where they came from. But the elves in Dragon Age were actually, their story was based directly on the Jewish people and what we've been through over the years. The anti-Semitism and the anti-elven sentiment and the, you know, going back to the elves were slaves, and that is one of the things that is in the Torah. Jews, the Israelites were slaves before they were even Jews. They were slaves, and you know, there's a lot of really kind of fascinating parallels that I would not have made because it's so ingrained in my head that dwarves are Jews. And again, I could make some Dragon Age specific parallels there too, but there's a lot of different parallels, and of course, because it's not, you know, the exact same thing, there are other groups that are gonna feel the same connection to dwarves or to elves or, you know, to mages, because that was another one that they started pretty much when the first game came out. They were like, you know, mages are locked up in towers when they find out about their power. They are utterly hated by a good portion of society because they are not understood. So, like, they're not pulling any punches with their symbolism and their parallels here. Like, I love that they did that, and I love that they continue to do that, and I also love that they decided that they were going to be a little bit more explicit with some of it. Because, fuck you, we have a trans character and everyone loves him. Fuck you, we have a gay character and everyone loves him, and if you don't, you're probably an asshole. Like, everyone loves Dorian and Krem. Like, they're amazing. So, yeah, like, okay, I've gone and made myself emotional now, but, I have feelings, I have opinions on this subject. Welcome to my channel. Yeah, I also don't understand where people are like that. I don't understand why, like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Okay, so back to Dragon Age. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee now that I've slightly made myself lose my voice a little bit here. Okay. So, yeah, I am a huge fan of video games being just an escape and or being good representation and or people doing charity shit with video games. That is the coolest fucking thing you could possibly do. Like, I might be a little bit biased for reasons that you, Six, will understand because, you know, I know someone that is now a Zeldathon attendee and is super pumped about it. But, like, that's pretty much the coolest fucking thing you can do. Like, there are times when I want to look at him and just be like, okay, can you stop being amazing for 2 seconds? But I have not said this to him because that would be awkward. Anyway, that aside, video games are awesome. Charity streams are happening. I'm gonna pretty much go in and we're gonna have a conversation about Red Lyrium real quick. Oh my god, it would be so fucking cool to go to Zeldathon. I would love to do that. But there's no reason for someone like me who is not good at video games and got into Zelda relatively recently, like embarrassingly recently. I don't get me wrong, I love it. When I get into something, I go hard. This is also something that you know about me, Six, because Sayuki. And Alien, if you're watching this VOD, you know, you understand. So yeah, so when like I always was kind of like, yeah, Zelda's cool, and then I had Minish Cap in high school, I think. And I really loved Minish Cap, but I wasn't really like a hardcore Zelda fan because I didn't have access to a lot of the games. And now I have a job, and I can buy the games. So when Breath of the Wild came out, and as a matter of a mutual friend of ours was like, hey, I have all of these games and a Wii, and you said you wanted a Wii. Do you want to take these off my hands? I was like, yes, please. So I have a Wii and a bunch of Zelda games, and I just basically went, all right, well, I have more than half of the games. I might as well collect the entire series because I really enjoy this series. So now I have all but, I think, 2 of the games in the Zelda series, or at least in the main. I have no chill. This is not news to anyone that knows me. But I also really love the Zelda games for completely different reasons, because they don't do the representation thing for the most part, but Breath of the Wild was your first game. That is completely respectable, and I love Breath of the Wild for a lot of the same reasons I love Dragon Age, because you can just run around and do side quests forever and have fun, you know, killing monsters. And now hold that thought, because Varric is going to be really freaked out.
Red lyrium, and a would-be miner, I believe.
Oh, no, he's not freaked out yet? I am shocked. Save the world or hunt Lynels? Yeah, same. Like, I can beat them now. Hell yeah, I'm gonna hunt the Lynels sometimes. I just keep getting distracted by even littler stuff. Like right now, I've just completely stopped progressing in the plot because I was focusing so hard on side quests and upgrading, like, armor and shit. And now I'm like, what do you mean I have to shoot a dragon in the horn twice? I guess I'm gonna try this with a boomerang, and then I had to go get a boomerang. So I'm so focused on trying to upgrade my champion's tunic right now, like I've done nothing for the plot. I still only have done one of the 4 divine beasts. That's how much plot I'm not doing. You know, I can ride a bear! Wait, you can ride a bear? Have I even seen a bear? Have I met bears? Oh my god. You can ride a deer. That was super cool. I don't even know if I've seen a bear in Breath of the Wild. Holy shit. That's awesome. Okay, so, well, I guess I'm gonna try to find a bear in Breath of the Wild later. But yeah, so I'm also in the middle of 5 Zelda games right now, including Breath of the Wild. I'm in the middle of Ocarina of Time, because every time I turn on the TV, I'm usually using my PS4, and I'm currently playing that on my Wii, because it was in the GameCube collection that Mari had, which I'm playing on the Wii, because it's backwards compatible. First time I beat Ganon, only did 3 Divine Beasts, because, a reason. Okay. I will chat with you more once I know more. But so, I'm like 0% of the way into the plot for, well, I guess technically 20% of the way into the plot for Breath of the Wild, because side quests! And then I got past the Fire Temple and the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time, and I forget what I even have to do next. Probably the Spirit Temple. And then I'm in the middle of Phantom Hourglass, because I started that a long time ago and then just never beat it. And then I had to start over because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing anymore. So I'm in the middle of those 3, and then I started Link's Awakening, and then literally dislocated a finger trying to save, because you have to hit the start, select, and A and B buttons all at once to get to the save menu. So on trying to do that with my Game Boy Color, I dislocated a finger joint, so I went, I'm gonna take a break from Link's Awakening, this hurts. And now I'm also playing A Link to the Past, which is fucking murder. Like, that game is so fucking hard. So, yeah, that's the 5 Zelda games I'm in the middle of right now. This is why I can never finish anything. Because I'm like, I'm gonna do another thing. I like this other thing. I'm gonna do another thing. So that's also why I haven't finished my technically 8th playthrough of Dragon Age yet, because poor Lunan is getting neglected here. I love them. They're I'm not getting anywhere at the moment with them. So that is a thing. I went right by a fucking landmark. God damn it. But yeah, so that stuff. That's what's going on for me for video games right now. Let's see. What is this? This is... Oh, no, that's super not nearby. That's where I started. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna go back here anyway. That's not what I wanted. Now I've gotten, like, the Assassin's Creed fast travel controls in my head. It takes 80 hours to beat Breath of the Wild mega casually. Can speedrun it in less than 30 minutes. Yeah, that's me. That's me. That's why I'm looking at Zeldathon and going, wow, I really want to be involved in this really excellent, really cool, exciting charity. And then, like, I'm not actually good at video games. So that's a thing. I'm not much of an artist. So that's a thing. I don't know a ton about Zelda as much as I like it, because I got into it relatively recently. So that's a thing. You know, like, I would love to go to a Zeldathon, but I really don't see what I could do except provide my voice. And then, like, they have fucking Shadow Temple. Why the fuck would they need somebody like me? You know? Like, I would love to do, like, voice acting and shit on that note, but if I'm spending $60 on a game, I want more than 5 hours out of it. Same. Hardcore same. Like, I want to be able to live in that game if I am gonna spend fucking $60 on it. And you really can. You can live in that game. It is amazing. You know, like, my first Dragon Age Inquisition playthrough took me over 200 hours because I was figuring out the game, first of all, and I was just having so much fun with all the side quests. I just blasted through all the side quests because that's how I game. And it took me over 200 hours, or no, almost, hang on. Over 100. I'm thinking Final Fantasy XII for over 200 hours. My first playthrough of Final Fantasy XII was 212 hours. Like, but that's also one of my favorite games. For exactly the same reason as Breath of the Wild and Dragon Age Inquisition, because you can live in that game and just go through and do side quests forever. Speaking of side quests...
I know you. They call you the Herald of Andraste for what you did at Haven. But are you? The Maker has not told me.
No, I'm not the herald of your prophet.
I am not the Herald of Andraste.
As I suspected, stories of you mastering the rifts are just blind heresy.
No, I can seal rifts.
I love that. It's like, no, I'm not any, like, prophet of your prophet, but I can do that magical thing that you don't believe that I can do. That's not bullshit, I promise.
This cult, what are you doing out here? What is it you think is happening?
The Chantry has fallen, and shown its imperfection in doing so. The Chant of Light was a lie. It was arrogance to think that mortal lips could frame the Maker's will. And so we wait in silence.
God, and this is another thing. They do some very interesting things with their own lore in Inquisition, because the Chant of Light is their, like, this is their main religion in Thedas. This is their fantasy Christianity. So Andraste is their prophet. She's Lady Jesus. It's pretty direct. The Maker is their god, and the Chant of Light is like their gospel. And you're supposed to be, and chant, meaning singing. So you're supposed to be singing the chant of light to all the nations, yada yada, blah blah, whatever. So that's also a very Christian thing. Let's get our message out there. Which, okay, sure, if that's your thing. Just don't shove it on someone that doesn't want it. So this cult that she's just described says the chant of light was a lie. So it's a doomsday cult. That's being like, you know, the Maker has turned his back on us and all this other shit. It's a doomsday cult. Like, they do some weird shit with their own lore. It's great. Also, I don't know about any other streamers that may or may not have noticed this, but I've started to talk to myself a lot when I play games, even when I'm not streaming. Look at how pale she is, oh my god! Which, like, I did that on purpose, so I'm glad it's, like... I'm glad it worked, and I'm glad it's not, like, super extremely weird, but, like, it's a little uncanny, which is also perfect, because, like I said, she lived underground. She didn't get any sun for a very long time. You talk to yourself a lot, too. That's a thing. Like... I swear to God, I talk to myself when I cook more often than anything else, and, like, there's nobody in the fucking house. It's just me and the stove and the cat. And, I mean, obviously I talk to my cat, but I'm not talking to my cat when I'm cooking. You know?
I greet you.
Hey, kid. Your mother needs help.
Hindle, your mother can't breathe. Your father sent me here for potion.
What? She was fine. She hasn't had the breathing trouble in...
I forgot he was an elf.
I can help. Here. I have some already made. Go, take it to her now.
Except, because of how video games work, I don't actually have to do it right this second, so I'm going to continue exploring for a bit. Kind of picked it up as a habit because I don't like having dead air when I stream. That's exactly what I started doing. Like, I don't get me wrong, I talk to myself anyway, but, like, the constant stream of chatter thing is relatively new since I've started streaming. And, like, I will talk to myself and just describe what I'm doing, even though I'm the only one in the room and I'm not streaming. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, dude? Yeah, I also... I talk to my cat when I draw sometimes. I talk to, you know, dead air. But I talk to my cat a lot. He is a very attentive, talkative little boy. So, sometimes he talks back, which is adorable. Oh, hey, look, it's an elven artifact. But we don't know about those yet, so I don't think I can activate this one. That's... What is that telling me is there? That's on the outside, isn't it? It's gotta be. Oh, no, that's on the other side. Okay, I know what's going on there. I know for a lot of people it's one of those things that can take getting used to, and in the beginning some folks feel awkward doing it. Talking to dead air. Honestly, it didn't... It took me a little bit, but I don't think it really took me that long to get used to talking to myself. Like, I can describe what I'm doing easy. I don't like having dead air in general, so it's like if I'm not listening to music, I will usually be talking to myself just because I don't like silence. But it's weird. It's a thing. I don't like it sounds like counterintuitive, but I get overwhelmed with silence almost as much as I get overwhelmed with a lot of noise, which I definitely get overwhelmed in both of those situations. That's like, you know, that's a thing. That is, I'm autistic, that's a thing. If it's super noisy somewhere, I'm gonna be wanting to leave. But, so I get almost as, like, I guess technically the noise is getting overstimulated and the silence is being understimulated, so everything just feels like everything is more, and it sucks and it's awful. But yeah. Either way, it's a thing. It's not exclusively an autistic thing. I know a lot of folks with ADHD
I found a woman's
get
body
get
down the
similarly
hole of
over and understimulated, but yeah, it's a thing, and it sucks. So that like I talk to myself anyway for that reason, but
What am I supposed to do now?
join the Inquisition.
The Inquisition needs men who believe as strongly as you do. Come and help us restore order.
Yes.
Hooray!
If waiting here in the hills leaves innocents to die, then I will bring the Maker's word.
Trying to explain recently that my previous boss would force me to stay in a silent voice call, and I could. Oh, gross! Why? Oh my God! No. That sucks. She's so cute. Look at her face. I love her. I can't believe how well that worked. Sorry. I got distracted by my adorable Inquisitor. That sucks, 6. Ugh. Like, I'm not good with phone calls to begin with, which currently is not a big deal because our phones are a little bit messed up at work, but, like, having to deal with either too much noise or utter silence on a phone is the fucking worst. Became hyper-aware of every sound I heard, breathing, keys, typing, chair shifting. Gross! Oh my God! Oh, that sounds like fucking torture. Oh my God. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that I've gotten all of the loot that I can get from around here. I've been in here already. I think I have. I am going to go close this rift. I'm going to get Speaker Nace or Anai on my side, and I am going to end stream there. That's how some people work on projects. Yeah, sure, but like, no. Fuck that so much. I should have saved before I walked in here. That would have been intelligent. I made a mistake! It's fine. Absolutely. I'm having entirely too much fun. I wasn't paying attention to what level these guys are, so this might be... What level are you? 4. This is nothing. It's fine. This is not a mistake. I will have zero problem with this. I am level 4. This is fine. This is so easy. So yeah, while I am closing my final rift, I may as well, for the day, I may as well talk about my plans going forward a little bit. I'm usually a little bit better hydrated, or at least don't have such a dry throat. But anyway, my plans going forward, I'm going to be streaming Kingdom Hearts on Tuesdays, unless Kappa goes through in such a way that I believe that I should not do that. Because I cuss like a fucking pirate, so I'm not, like, if somebody comes onto my videos assuming that it's for children just because I'm playing fucking Kingdom Hearts, they're gonna have a bad time. So, my Tuesday streams will be Kingdom Hearts, my Friday streams going forward will be Dragon Age Inquisition. There might be some other stuff going on in the future, but for right now, that's my plan. My Friday streams are usually a bit longer, which is part of the reason I did it that way, because Kingdom Hearts doesn't take all that long to beat. I can beat Kingdom Hearts in like 30 hours if I'm playing casually, whereas Inquisition, unless I am ignoring every single side quest, it takes me like 80 or 90 hours. So I do that. So I will do Inquisition's stuffs on Friday because my Friday streams are longer because Friday is my day off. For example, it's been about 4¼ hours today. So, for right now, I forget how I get her as an informant. I think I do that.
Have your believers search for secrets that may help our cause.
Yeah.
As you say, Herald of Andraste. Some few will remain here, the rest will go forth to do your will.
Heck yeah.
Maker calls you to your great purpose. Remember that we served you.
Yay! Technically, I just got a new agent, I believe. So, oh, power +1. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna save. I am gonna call it there for right now. That's gonna say like 5.5 hours on that screen. Yeah, 5.5 hours, because about an hour of that was me trying to put together Tali's adorable face. So, that is gonna do it for me today. But, if you want to get better updates on when I'm going to be streaming and what I'm going to be streaming and all that other nonsense. And sometimes, like, if things do not go according to plan, I put that shit on Twitter. My Twitter is also full of other things like Zelda, because I'm not streaming Zelda, but I'm always playing Zelda. So that's on my Twitter. I also have a Discord. We can hang out on my Discord. It is very small. There's not a lot of people there yet. It is less likely that my updates go on Discord just because I forget to put my tweets there. But the Discord is there. I try desperately to also update my Discord when I tweet about excuse me, when I tweet about when I'm streaming, but sometimes I forget to do that. If you like what I do, if you want to make it a little bit nicer and, you know, put things on the menu like, you know, transition screens and BRB screens and things of that nature, I have a Ko-fi. And all of that nonsense is currently going towards me getting a capture card so that I can make this a little bit nicer and not have to stream via the PS4. So, let's... You said that Pokethon was happening soon. So, do they have their own channel? Let's look this up real quick. Pokethon.net. Okay, but I wanna see what exactly is going on with that. Boop. Watch now. Haha, it brought me to Twitch. Cool. Alright. So, it looks like this channel is not currently doing the thing. So, let's see. Thank you for the link. I had just found that via Google. Let's go to schedule. What is... They're starting at 3 in a half an hour. Okay, so usually this would be where I go, hey, let's go raid someone, and I would love to raid someone, but also I want to do Actually, what I think I'm going to do, Shadow Temple technically is live, but I know it's Marissa actually streaming because Shadow is working. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce us over to Shadow's channel and raid Marissa while she is streaming Wind Waker, because Zeldathon is also coming up. It's just not today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce us over to where Marissa is streaming. Excuse me, streaming Wind Waker, and then I will do my getting ready for stuff things, and then come back to Pokethon and host them later. But let's go say hi to Marissa. She's cool. She's got Wind Waker going. She's gonna be at Zeldathon doing Wind Waker stuff. Shadow is also gonna be at Zeldathon. There's a lot of cool people that are gonna be at Zeldathon. So let's go say hi to Marissa. I hope I will see whoever is still here on either Tuesday or next Friday, or possibly both. See you soon.